There is nothing girls like better than to do a little talking, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We are joined today by some gorgeous Pine Forest Elementary girls who are taking the talk a little extra mile by talking about bullying and how they can do things to keep all of their friends from getting involved in any type of bullying activity. This Girl Talk program was the brainchild of Pine Forest counselor Jennifer Vandenbrook, and we're joined by Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here. And she brought with her Miss Zoe. Zoe Wooden is a 5th grader at Pine Forest, almost ready for middle school. And Shelby Winn is a 2nd grader. So welcome, girls. We're glad you're here. And let's talk to Ms. Vandenbrook first about what is Girl Talk, which I understand was one of our foundation grants.
Absolutely. Girl Talk, it is all about relational aggression and what relational aggression is. It's a term coined for bullying in the girls' world and what that looks like. Many times relational aggression comes out of intimidation. It's girls in their social settings wanting to intimidate based on insecurities, fears. They're wanting to control some kind of environment within the school setting. So relational aggression comes to play, and we are seeing it in the elementary setting. So I wanted to have some resources to provide great ideas for our girls at school. So what I've done with our Girl Talk grant, that has included in materials for small group activities, small group lessons, guidance lessons for for the whole school. But also, what I have done is had a special Diva Day. We had a special Divas Day out in January for the older grades, and then in February for our kindergartner and 1st grade. They're smiling because that was their highlight of the whole year. But they loved what it was with their Girl Talk was all about positive self-esteem. It talked about relational aggression, but we also talked about positive body image as well with that.
Well, this is kind of out of that mean girl type thing, right? Where girls can be really mean to one another, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what did you learn in this program, and how did you learn how to deal with people who might be a little mean to you?
Well, I learned that if people judge you by just how you look from the outside, doesn't matter how the outside looks, it matters about the inside. And Ms. Vandenbrook shared with us 2 songs. Beautiful Flower by India Irie, and it was kind of talking about just because how people judge you from the outside doesn't matter, because the inside matters the most. And the second song she shared with us was Mean Girls by Rachel Crow. And so what she was trying to say was she's been bullied her whole life and she hated it, and finally she made a song and she stood up to the bullies and helped everybody around her.
That's right.
Wow.
How about you?
Well, we had to look in the mirror and tell something about us that we liked about us, and I like that because we had to tell everyone about what we liked about ourselves and stuff like that. And we had to do back-to-back where we had to sit on the ground, hook our arms, and help each other up.
Aww.
So I had her back and she had my back.
That's cool.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally. It was for them to
That's
talk
cool.
about what it looks like and how you can support each other, and how do you have someone's back when they're in trouble, and how does someone have your back when you're in trouble.
Right, because friends are important.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Well, this is really great. I mean, it really is. It's exciting. It sounds fun.
Yes.
Learning an awful lot of important things. Zoe and Shelby, I'm sure. But I've got one huge question. So what about boy talk?
That's a good question. What I've done, because there's so many facets to Girl Talk, it was not only in the lessons to the kids at school, it was also, I had coffee talk, chats with the parents, where I invited them to come in and give them tons of resources with the funds provided from the ISD Education Foundation. A lot of resources for them to use at home. But I found the need to not only do this with the girls, and it was just the girls at one time all together talking about giving them the necessary tools. I think that's the key, is when bullying occurs, to give them those tools. But also, I have invited Matt Smith, who's our coordinator of effective education here at school for our district. I've invited him to come out and talk with all of our boys to do a similar boy talk in order to give them the necessary tools when they're faced with bullying, because bullying does look different in the girls' world versus versus the boys' world, and what tools to use and what's appropriate, because
Right.
it is all about having healthy relationships with peers.
That's awesome.
Well, he is right. With girls, it's all about being mean and catty and, saying nasty things or making fun of something and trying to play on insecurities. But with boys, isn't it more about physical aggression?
It can look more like the
pushing them
physical,
around?
absolutely, the intimidation. Whereas the girls, it's more so the peer, the social interaction with each other. Absolutely.
And this is all really part of the district's anti-bullying
Absolutely.
measures as well, which, can you address that just a little bit about what parents can do if they feel their child is being bullied?
Absolutely. What I have is a resource not only to the books that they can check out through me, the Parenting Lending Library, but it's signs to look for if your child is being bullied, what that looks like. But it also turned the table a little bit to look at traits. Could your child possibly be a bully? And one of the resources I purchased was, I didn't know I was a bully, and that's actually for kids to read, because sometimes they don't realize that what their behaviors, the things that they're doing, are detrimental to themselves and to others. So it's a lot of the tools that I have out there on my website, different things parents can check out through the resources purchased, through the grant to help them at home, giving them the tools. Because a lot of times we know what it is, but then what do we do about it? And we give them certain tools we can do in the classroom, but then support it at home with that conversation as well.
Zoe, a minute ago you looked pretty excited about almost getting to middle school. It's getting closer.
Yes, sir.
It's getting closer. Has Girl Talk, has that helped you get ready for middle school, do you think?
Yes, sir, because my brother, he's in middle school, and he says that there's less, I say, girl bullying. There's less there because they all known each other since 5th grade, so they got to know each other better, and so they've become friends.
Okay. Good. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So Shelby, who's the best elementary school counselor in the world?
Miss Vandenbrook.
Good answer. Good answer. And you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Seriously, you have created a phenomenal program here, and went the extra mile to get the resources from the foundation, which makes a huge difference for them and so many others at Pine Forest. Not only now, but way out into the future. So
Absolutely.
Shelby, you're right. She's pretty special.
Yes.
And you guys are pretty special too.
Thank you.
They're
Thank
incredible.
Right. It sounds to me like you girls are learning tools to kind of keep others from being bullied or pushing people around, which is a nice thing to be able to share, because friends do talk to one another, and that's important. So thank all of you for joining us, to giving us the wrap up. I know it's something we could talk about a lot, because
Absolutely.
girls' self-esteem through the
could.
years is one of those things that kind of
And you're going to see this program
changes.
grow through the district.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Well, congratulations to all of you. Good luck in middle school next
Thank you.
year. And you just keep them straight at Pine Forest for another couple of years, okay?
I will.
Thank you, Jennifer, very
You're very
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.